I just saw it as, would you rather spend £3,000 on a useless bag or a useless shoe, or would you rather put £3,000 into a future investment that will generate millions?
Welcome to the Designer Dialogues, the series where I sit down with upcoming and established fashion designers, brand owners and people in the industry to dive deep into their journeys, creative processes and the business of fashion. Whether you're an aspiring designer or a fashion enthusiast or a brand owner looking for inspiration, this is a place for real, unfiltered conversations about what it truly takes to build a fashion brand. In each episode, I'll be speaking with designers from different backgrounds, some just starting out, others who have made it, to share their experience, struggles and successes. From sourcing materials and launching collections to navigating challenges in the industry, we're covering it all. So if you love fashion and want to hear first-hand stories from the creative behind the brand, make sure to stay tuned. Now let's get into today's episode.
What are you wearing today?
Right, today I'm wearing a set from MIIKEL. I'm wearing a top from ASOS, tights, and then, heels from PLT.
Cute.
What is your outfit for today?
So today I've got on my top leggings, I've got Zara, my shoes are
Cute. Hey guys, welcome to my first episode of the Designer Dialogues, and I'm here with my first guest.
Hey guys.
So today we have...
Hey guys, my name is Jayanne and I'm the founder of ATELIER Jayanne.
So before we get into it, what piqued my interest about you was when I saw your TikTok video about the money that you wasted on manufacturers.
I wasted £3,617 in the first year building my fashion label. First mistake when creating AJ was not having a clear brand identity. Just believe creativity and passion is just not enough. As a founder of a brand, I feel like it's important to have a strong brand DNA. Where do you sit in the market? Who are your consumers? What story are you trying to sell? Why do you want people to shop from you? I feel like when I started AJ, I just knew I could draw and I wanted to create a brand, and unfortunately those things are just not enough.
And I feel like, before the launch, there's just a lot of groundwork that you have to do, and I thought it would just be good to talk about the steps you take whilst you're building your brand and before you take that leap to launch, which is a very scary thing, but there's a lot that goes into it before that stage. So that's why I had you as my first guest. So I thought it makes sense for people to know what the things you have to do before you launch, the steps you have to take, and you've been really good at building a brand audience. So I kind of wanted to discuss that with you. Alright, just to break the ice a bit, what is your fashion Pics and Icks?
Okay, so you start with the Icks or the Pics?
Let's do the Pics and then we'll go to the Icks.
My fashion Pics at the moment, I'm loving the 2010s.
Yes, I love that.
Heels that are coming back into trend. I love that at the moment. I'm also really obsessed with ballet flats.
Yes,
I've got so many pairs.
so cute. I saw the top ballet heels. I thought they were really nice.
Yes, you can dress them up, you can dress them down, you can wear them to work, you can wear them out. And now that the sun is shining, put down the trainers, guys. I'm not really a trainer girly. I'm more like,
you love a heel.
I love a heel, I do.
Yeah.
But the ballet flats are in. Another fashion pick. The bandage dresses. Oh,
they are cute.
you have to be a certain kind of girl to rock it.
And they'll be snatched. The material just
Yeah, so those are my fashion picks. I don't really have any fashion icks. I'd just say be yourself.
Yeah.
And let the outfit speak for itself. My fashion ick actually is just hopping on any sort of aesthetic.
Yeah.
Definitely, that's a definite big ick for me.
That's a big ick. I agree.
Yeah, I don't like it when people just try things that it doesn't really bring out themselves. So I feel like that's definitely a big ick of mine. But other than that, don't really have any icks. What about you?
Yeah, I get that. I would say my fashion pick at the moment is the living print trend.
Yes.
I really love the the animal print, vibe that's going on.
Which
I think it just looks really cute, And I just think, it just works for me. So that's what I'm loving at the moment.
Yeah.
What else am I loving? I think always just denim. Like I really love the double denim.
Be a classic.
Yeah, like I just think it just works. Like a double denim look, I just love denim. I think that as well is my current picks. And then I would say my icks.
I would say my current ick is girls aging themselves through their clothing. I think, no, it's true, because I feel like, I understand there may not be a lot of references to, dressing modestly and this, that and the third, but there's a fine line of looking like a grandma. Yeah, you're looking like an auntie when you're 22. It doesn't make sense. I think I blame this milkmaid, clean girl aesthetic.
Yeah,
they want us to dress up. They want us to dress like we're milking cows these days. And there's nothing wrong with being covered up. Don't get it twisted, but just don't age yourself. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's what I don't like at the moment. Yeah. Enjoy your youth.
Definitely, there's a healthy balance between dressing clean girl and acting your age.
I just don't. All this aesthetics though. This clean girl. What even is that? Do you know what I mean? Like, what is clean girl aesthetic? Do you know what I mean? I just
TikTok for you.
No, honestly, because I just don't understand. Like, it's either just wear what pleases you and suits your body type. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely agreed.
I just can't. Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me. Like even with PLT having a whole week, but you can have follow the trend, but it's not gonna last forever. Now Kylie Jenner, she's posting crop tops again, saying that she's a baddie, original baddie. Now you're gonna have to rebrand.
That's what I always tell people: just be yourself.
Yeah.
Don't follow a trend. Do what makes you happy.
Literally.
Yeah.
No, literally. All right. So, when did you realize fashion design was your passion?
Yeah. So I'd say it's been a long time now.
Yeah.
Since I was young, really, I've always been interested in fashion and drawing. I grew up drawing, so I'd always draw models and clothes and stuff like that. And then I was also big into girl games.
Yeah.
So I was big into the games that would require you to dress models up. And so Star Doll, Girls Go Games, yeah. Anything like that, I would always pick the design element of it. So that's definitely where my interest came from. That's So Raven. I loved Raven. I think from then I just kind of knew what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And just anything that was around at the time. I was heavy on collecting magazines when I was younger as well, and always just looked at the clothing. I mean, as you grow older, you kind of know what you want to do. But I feel like with fashion design, fashion illustration, it's definitely something that's always been instilled in me. So those are from what I can remember, my earliest interest in fashion. Yeah.
Oh, I love that, and I feel the same. With that, I used to love Star Doll, Go Games, everything like that. And I do have similar story. When I was younger, just drawing wedding dresses and stuff like that. And just I don't know, I just had the interest in taking that. So I did get that. And so, what inspired you to pursue a career in fashion? Because there's a lot of girls that just like clothes, but they don't actually take that step.
Yeah.
To pursue a career in fashion. I know you do illustrations as well.
Yeah, definitely. Illustration was my first. As someone that's able to draw, you're able to just put onto paper what you want to envision and what's in your mind, and that's just my creative process. I mean, I know every design is different, but mine just starts from a sketch, which is something that I honestly can say I've been truly blessed with. As well as what's inspired me, I'd say Hayden Williams. He was the first account I ever followed on Instagram, and he's one of the biggest fashion illustrators known today. So him. I also love TV shows in the weirdest way. TV shows and your experiences and the clothes you see around you. Those are the easiest ways to kind of get into fashion, and it sounds so dumb, but it's the truth. When you see an outfit online, and back then that was our earliest media accesses and stuff like that, you're able to pinpoint and to see what it is that inspires you. Just the world around you, use that to your advantage as well. What else inspired me to get into fashion? Runway. I absolutely love runway.
Yeah, runway shows.
Yeah, runway shows. Seeing designers take just simple inspiration and put that into a 20-piece catwalk is honestly so inspiring. It's so incredible. And ever since then, I think that was kind of just what fueled me to want to be able to do that as well.
I love that response, because it's just there's a lot of things that shape us, especially when we're younger, the things we internalize. And it's a good point about shows, because it's when you're watching shows like Girlfriend, all the things, you see how they dress.
Exactly.
You're watching music videos
as well.
Yeah, even with music videos, how they dress. And I feel like the 90s, noughties, in my opinion, is the best. I just love it. Do you know what I mean?
The 90s.
I feel it's just the coolest style that we've had so far. So I think
it's great because you're able to take different eras, different things around you, and create into an art form, which I feel like that's the underrated part about fashion, is the actual art form itself. A lot of people these days don't see it as an art form and just want to just put anything out there, but you really have to make sure that your inspiration is what guides you. So
yeah, I do agree that at that point when you say people just put anything out there, it's true, because you do see a lot of like brands, they'll just get a plain top and then they'll slap like a logo on it. Like, do you know what I mean? Or like certain brands, it's just like there's no thought process, and you can tell feel like their design. So we'll touch on that later. That's an interesting point you mentioned there. So what would you say, what are some of your biggest fashion influences?
Ooh, okay. Tracy Ellis Ross. Love her.
She makes me excited to age.
Oh, like get me to 50. Get me to my 50s.
No, honestly.
I love Tracy Ellis. I think she's definitely at the top for me. The way she's able to just effortlessly dress is just insane.
Yeah.
She can put on anything and look good, and you can tell that it's the experiences of her life that has shaped her style today. I think that's so beautiful. I think a lot of women are losing that essence to be able to just put on something and then make it their own.
It's
so
true.
That's one of my huge inspires. Another one is Melissa's wardrobe. Yeah, she's the epitome of Black British beauty. She knows how. Yes, let's talk about it for a minute. Her style to me is honestly so clean, so sophisticated. It's what you want to look like when you're older, you know? I think she embodies that really well. And then another one is Minas. She's French. I don't know if you've heard of her.
I don't think I've heard of her. Maybe I've seen her.
Look her up, guys. Minas. Honestly, she's so cool.
Yeah.
She's like a younger version of Tracy Ellis.
Oh,
so I love them. Those are my top 3 at the moment, for
that's
sure.
good. I really like those options. I would say I'm not inspired by everything.
That's nice.
I'm like influenced by a lot of things. Not gonna lie, it's hard to like say, but I do. Let's say that some accounts I do really like. Like I like people like how Lisa Jemine dresses.
Oh yeah, nice.
And I feel like I just like how she puts outfits together. Like I like Tracy Ellis Ross, Melissa's wardrobe. I like people like that. I just inspired by a lot of things, really.
Yeah, that's nice.
Like I feel like my biggest I say influence as well. Like I really do love like 90s and noughties. Obviously, you got to say that every day, but
If you have any era that you could dress like, would it be the 90s?
Absolutely, because I feel like they embody like tomboy but girly very well. Do you know what I mean? If you look at people like ATELIER, she would be wearing like the baggy with the crop top. Do you know what I mean? But then when it's like a water, she's wearing really like nice girly dresses. Do you know what I mean? I really do like that. And then the noughties, I would say those times were definitely my favourite. I wish I could be a young adult then. So. Just to wear that, what they were wearing. Yeah, because I feel like that kind of as well. Because with me, I feel like I have like 2 sides. Like I'm really girly. I love a heel. I like dressing up, but I also love the relaxed, comfy fits. Like I like that kind of vibe.
You can go from A to Z with fashion. You can do whatever it is that you want to do. So
no, honestly.
Don't feel restricted.
No, literally. I do have. I would say it's hard to say because it's like I feel like I'm inspired by a lot of things.
Yeah.
When it comes to clothing, even if it could be a random TikTok out. I might find, you know, and then go, I like how she dresses, you know what I mean?
That's what the app's there for, so.
No, literally, like, I don't know. Now to like your journey and like some challenges. What was the first piece you ever designed and how do you feel about it now?
The first piece I ever designed and then made it into something or just...
Yeah, like, so like the first piece you ever designed and I guess created, like sample, and how do you feel about it now?
I feel like, how I feel about the first piece I designed now, I feel like the growth. I don't know if that's...
No, I get you.
I feel like it was the beginning of where I am today. I feel like I needed to design that piece in order to get where I am today. I felt like that piece that I designed at first was my entry piece into the design world. And I think I put it on TikTok a little bit, so it was like a black dress that got sent as a yellow piece, sorry. PTSD, but yeah, that piece was needed in order to shape my experience and to put the brakes on. Not everything you design is going to come out the way you want it to, and that's just, you know, the hardest truth. That's just the hardest truth, and unfortunately, like I say, these things are put in place to shape us. I mean, it's like when you go to school and you learn how to read, you learn how to write. As much as like I knew how to draw, I knew how to sketch, I knew how to design something, I didn't know how to make it into something. And that piece was put in place for me to grow as a designer. So yeah, that's how I felt about that.
Yeah, I really like that response. And I think it's just like, honestly, when you're designing, we all have to remember we're not experts when we start.
Yeah.
Because I feel like sometimes we think, oh yeah, because we have a talent, but we still have to nurture and understand the technicalities. It's like, you know, there's always technicalities in like every industry, every field. So as we are starting our own brands, we need to understand, okay, this, what about pattern cutting, how to make this, even down to the materials.
Right.
So, and the only way you learn is through experience. You can study a million books, yes, it's great, but experience is ultimately the best teacher, do you know what I mean? And you will know how to navigate with manufacturers to like avoid disappointment, because you'll be disappointed.
At your own risk.
No, honestly, at your own risk.
Start brand at your own risk, guys.
Yeah, disappointment, especially when you're starting, but
it's a journey, but you get there.
yeah. Alright, so what were some of the biggest challenges you faced when starting out?
Self-doubt, being too quick with decisions, not taking my time to research, comparing myself. I feel like one thing I would say, not that I feel any of this now, but when you're starting, you have to have 100% focus on your design and your vision. Looking at other things around you and other people that are doing it is great as inspiration, but don't solely rely on what they're doing in order to shape your brand. I think really take the time to understand who you are as a designer, what it is you want to put out there, your brand, your overall brand vision, your mission, your values. Like those are things I completely cut out at the start, just off the basis that I wanted to start a brand. Taking, like I always say, rushing yourself will cost you. So make sure that I don't know if you can relate. It's like,
no, honestly, because you know, excitement. It's good to be excited, but I feel like when I started, I was so excited. Like I just think I was just like, you know, this impulse.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? When I started, it's just like, I think it's a good thing, but it also can be a bad thing because you're rushing to the point where, I don't know, I wouldn't say rushing, but it's just more excitement to get out. Because like, oh my god, my first piece is here, I'm doing this. Oh my god, my first sample, this, that, and the third, I'm going to do this, I want to show people this. But honestly, there's beauty in taking your time, and when you're starting, you don't have to rush. And I feel like
who actually set the date for you?
No, honestly, I feel like we put so much pressure on ourselves. Do you know what I mean? Oh, you have to have about this, or people want this, and but we don't need to. And as much as like, you are excited about what you design, it's actually okay to take your time, do more research, like your audience, study your audience, and then in that way, when you do launch, you'll have enough knowledge and and how to make the launch successful. Because ultimately, you can design the best piece in the world, but if you do not know how to market your product,
it's a no-go.
It'll be crickets. And that's a very heartbreaking experience. I mean, every designer has experienced that moment, do you know what I mean? So it's just like, it's good to take your time, study people that have cracked the code.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? I think that's a really important.
That's why the references are there, so use them.
Literally, they have cracked the code, and like, listen to what you can listen to. And I feel like, I do feel though that some brand owners, I understand they're not as fully transparent, because all you hear is start. Start. You'll figure it out as you go along. But the figuring out comes to tears.
Yes,
like you require a lot. Stress. Do you know what I mean? The stress, like
financial heartbreak.
And I think this is why, like, I want literally, that's why I want to do this as well. Like, just have honest, conversations, about this, so that people can be like, okay, cool, this is so and so's journey, this is so and so's journey. But at the end of the day, we're all doing it, and everyone is going at their own pace. Everyone's at different journeys, and at different stages. But I wanted to see the beauty in, before you launch, what are you doing? And the people that have launched and have had successful drops, or they were successful at the start and it has dipped a bit. Do you know what I mean? And just the up and down process, because it is an up and down experience for a lot of designers.
And you'll have a lot of lows, but I guess that's just the whole process of starting anything in any industry. Not everything is going to be smooth sailing, not everything is going to be a streamlined process at first, but nothing ever is. So
literally,
as well as just start, make sure that you have done extensive research into what it is that you're starting. Essentially, fashion is a journey that honestly, like, you could be the best at what you do, like you said, but without the knowledge and without the passion and without the time taken to really put effort into what it is that you want to sell, it's crickets, honestly. So.
Crickets, no, it is, and that's really the harsh truth. You can spend so much money and not get a dime, and this is where passion comes into it, because you need to, like, with anything, whether you're corporate, whatever industry you're in, if you do not have the passion, you're more likely to give up. Do you know what I mean? And sometimes, you know, even if, like, you know, you may feel like, oh, God told me to do this. He never said it's gonna be smooth sailing. He never said, do you know what I mean? He's gonna take you, walk you through it. Do you know what I mean? But we all need to understand, because I know we can get a bit frustrated. Like, I want to do this, you just be emotional. Do you know what I mean? And with business, emotions, you know, you can cry, but you need to get out quickly and think.
Yes.
As long as you don't wallow and you just go to the next step. Okay, think this didn't work. How can I make this work? And that's how you think, and that's how you kind of last in this game, because. Honestly, I know I've spoken to so many people that are just, oh, should I just quit because this is just long, do you know what I mean? No, but sometimes you do feel that way.
Quitting is the easiest thing.
It's the easiest thing to do, but at the end of the day, like, putting all your effort in and trying, you never know the day. Everyone has different times. One person can post one video on TikTok, their life has changed. It may take someone else 10 years.
Yes.
It may take the other person 3 months. You know what I mean? But whatever time frame, like, you'll never know unless you be consistent and you keep going. Do you know what I mean? You can pause or keep going. Do you know what I mean?
Wise words.
How did you go from an idea to actually preparing for your launch for your brand?
Okay, so the overall idea of the brand came from when I was, this is how I even got the name for it. I was in my studio. I was at uni at the time, and I'd stopped drawing for a while, and I don't know, just one day I was like, I need to get back into this, like, I need to go back into my passion, my love for art, my love for drawing. And so I just randomly got one day, I went to the store, picked up some pens, some paper, some pencils, and I started drawing again. And then my friend at the time had sent, this girl was looking for a fashion illustrator, who is now one of my bestest friends. She was looking for a fashion illustrator at the time, and my friend sent her my story and was like, oh, my friend does this and that. She's like, okay, I'm going to message her. So we ended up messaging each other, and then we started talking, and I ended up designing her birthday dress that year. Yes, I did that for her. And she wore it for her 20th, and she's now 25, so it was a long time ago. So she wore it, and then ever since then, I remember just drawing again, and then I was like, I need to put, I didn't have Instagram again. So I re-downloaded Instagram, started posting my drawings on there, and then that's literally how I am here now today. And then I was so determined to start a line during uni, but I just knew I couldn't do it. So what I was doing was, at first I would post my designs on my Instagram, my TikTok. And I was like, no, I'm going to save this for when I'm ready. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to keep drawing, but I'm going to draw for other brands, for other people, take commissions, do stuff like that. And then when I'm ready, I'm going to give the world what I know and what I know how to do best. So that's why I'm here now. And that's how the idea, honestly, like I say, it takes a while. Like, this is a 5-year process that is now, I'm launching my brand now. So like I always say, don't rush. I mean, when the opportunity came along to start the brand, and I was like, I'm gonna do it now, you know? So I started the planning for it during my 3rd year of uni. I was actually supposed to launch last year, but I wasn't happy with any of it. I was like, 2025 is the year that I'm going to bring AJ to life. And so, that's...
And I love that. No, I absolutely love that. And I feel like it's just so... Life has a funny way of pulling you back into things. And I feel like sometimes, like, you know, when we feel like, oh, we're going a different direction, and God will use people, use things to kind of draw you back to your purpose.
To remind you of your purpose.
And remind you of, like, this is like the talent I've given you, do you know what I mean? So I feel like even with myself, like, sometimes I run away from things, like, it's uncomfortable for me. But, you know, gotta find a way to avoid into it, do you know what I mean?
And even down to the name, like, ATELIER means studio in French. So obviously it started from my studio, So then that's how the name even clicked. And the thing is, the name was actually just something that I wanted my Instagram to be. And then that's when I started like marketing my name and making sure everyone knows about the name. And so that one day when I'm ready to start the brand, I could just use that. And no one had no idea that that was my plan behind the name. But it was very important for me to make sure that people knew of the name. Even if it's 10 people, 100 people, doesn't matter. I wanted everyone to know me by that. So that now it comes into full effect.
And that's really smart as well, because I feel like you're just building up that name, do you know what I mean? And then you're kind of building audience trust even when you're not ready, so you're still being active. And I think it's okay, like if you feel this is not the right point in life, that you can't handle it, I think that's like, it takes a level of maturity to know that, okay, it's not that you're giving up or you're delaying yourself, but it's okay to feel like, okay, not now, but I think you are still actively working on it, you know what I mean, whether people knew or not. And I feel like it's okay for people not to know, because sometimes when you tell people they can project fear, project negativity.
And I've been there.
No, but literally, like, they'll like project fear, like, they'll have this like energy, like, let's see how you do that. Do you know what I mean? Like, people don't realise that we can pick up on energy. Like, people pick up on energy so well. Like, I can. Even if you don't say it, I will be like, do you know what I mean? Like,
do you let that discourage you?
No.
Good.
I don't let people's energy discourage me, because I didn't do it for them. Do you know what I mean? I'm doing it for myself, and it's what God wants me to do. So it's like, you're gonna get this along the way. Do you know what I mean? Like, the way people act, but people are always projecting.
Yeah, and that's why the marketing starts now.
No, it's true.
At the end of the day, I'm taking a huge risk by marketing and pushing my brand. At this point, I'm not launched yet. So people are probably thinking, why is she? But you need people to. This is the best time. Yeah, you need a community. This is the best time that when people are projecting onto you, your community is pushing you. Not only are you pushing yourself, but your community is also pushing you to remind you that, oh, we want these pieces, we want to be in your clothes. So let these people come on the journey with you and forget about the people that are pouring fear into your life or self-doubt or any type of nonsense or evilness that the devil is trying to put into you. Like,
literally,
God is your biggest business partner. Once you know that, it's tunnel vision, like no one can stop you. So.
And exactly, and I feel like as well, especially like, you know, being women in faith, it's so important to be connected with God, especially not just for what you can gain, but in general have that relationship, because when you're actually supposed to do what you're ordained to do, the devil will try and do anything to derail you, do you know what I mean? So we need to be strong in faith and like strengthen our minds against negativity. If it's not the same way God can use people to help, the same way the devil can use people to try and discourage you, derail you, throw you off, do you know what I mean? But you really have to be like strong and, you know, just have that trust in God, because God will never tell you the plan, but he'll make sure you get there, do you know what I mean? But we always have to work with God, do you know what I mean? So I feel like in business as well, making God your business partner is the best thing you can do, not for selfish reasons. Like, he knows our hearts, he can see it's not like us, do you know what I mean? So you can't use God, but you know, just make sure, you know, you're aligning with his word and, you know, make him your business partner, dedicate your business to him and work for it. He never said, you know, it's going to be easy piece of cake. You know,
preaching.
But he will get you there. You know, and you know, it takes time and experience to kind of, you know, develop that, because yes, we all know we trust God, but like I said, experience is the best teacher.
Yes.
And when you have experiences where you've shown that you can trust him, you'll feel comfortable in not being suppressed about the journey, do you know what I mean? Like, even for example, the audio. You know, I was so mad, but I was like, do you know what? You have to record again, and then keep on going, do you know what I mean? So if I was dwelling and lying on the floor crying, screaming, this kind of that energy, you know, just have to start again.
You have to be a solution-based individual.
No, literally, you have to. It takes time, it takes time, because you know, emotions can get the better of you. So, you know, but
all fine.
Things will throw you off. But it's just how you fix it, you get it?
Yes.
And you're developing your skills, and that's essentially what you need in business, because emotions will
get the best of you.
It will get the best of you, and you can't be reliant on your emotions, you know what I mean? You can feel, and that's not what I'm saying, but you know, especially for me, I feel like initially when I started, I was a bit emotional, like, why is this and this? No, how does he do this to me? Do you know what I mean? And it's fine to feel, but you have to pick yourself up and be like, okay, cool, what are we going to do? Do you know what I mean? So
Love the preaching.
And this actually like leads into the next question. Like, have you ever doubted yourself in this journey? And if so, how did you overcome it? Because I feel like, you know, doubt is such a subtle but just diminishing kind of like thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, and that's why we have to be like strong-minded and, you know, just kind of like shoo away any negativity.
Amen. I would say obviously at the beginning there was a lot of doubt there. I guess that was just due to premature emotions, really, like not knowing what I was doing and stuff like that. And you know, you look out there's so many people starting a brand, and it's like, what can I bring to the table? But what I brought to the table was just me and my knowledge and my love for sketching, my love for the fashion world, and you have to be 100% confident in what you're putting out there. So I wouldn't say I have any sort of self-doubt at the moment. It's just a waiting game, obviously, between now and launch. Obviously, like, how are people going to receive it? But one thing I love about not even my audience, but my friends, my family, and the people around me who know everything I've put into this is that they are so confident in my pieces and they push me every day to become a better person, to become a better designer. So what am I afraid of, you know? It's like, if I love what I've done and I've had the, you know, I wouldn't say the balls, but
it does take
the confidence to even send that to the manufacturer and have them put 100% trust into them to make it for me. It's like, I can't double back now. Like, I have to follow through with that. So there's no such thing as self-doubt in my life at the moment.
That's amazing, and it's so important having like people around you, like friends and family supporting you, because it really does help. Do you know what I mean? This like big old world, like you might think to yourself, who am I to do this? Do you get it? But like I said, like God doesn't call the qualified, He qualifies the called.
Exactly.
So if you feel like this is what we're supposed to do in life, or whatever it is that is set on your heart, or you kind of know that the direction you're going,
you have to be a vessel.
No, you have to be a vessel. Like, God's giving you this talent, and it is, everything actually does boil down to the spiritual side of things as well. Do you know what I mean? So you're given this talent, even ideas, like having an idea in itself, like where does it even come from? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's coming from somewhere. You know what I mean? Of course, yes, we can be creative, but essentially there's someone behind that idea. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like having that confidence and the support system is just so essential, because this business will actually break you, but having supportive friends and family are such a blessing.
Have a team.
Like, having a team, because you need it.
It's so important to have a team. I feel like that's so underrated, you know. I understand the whole like, oh, there's evil eye, but why do you believe in that? Make sure make sure that when you have something, if you know you have good people around you, I'm not saying go and show someone that, you know, is you know, is not your closest friend, but even if it's one person, make that person your team. Like, there's nothing like having a support system. I'll be honest, I didn't always, the family side of things, I didn't always have that. I know my mum's always been 100% behind me, but certain people wasn't. But I feel like until I really proved to them, and you know what it is, during the whole process of building this brand, I didn't go out my way to prove to anyone that I could do it. It's just as time came along, they started to see that, oh wow, she's serious and she has everything lined out, and this is what God has in store for her. So they had no choice but to believe, you know. So I feel like it was so bittersweet, but once you have that mentality that no one can stop you, and this is what God has designed you to do, it's true.
I think I saw when someone spoke about evil eye, and it kind of like changed my perspective. It's not that I was always been like, oh, I've always been the type of person to yield results. So I would say, do stuff, I'd rather do it behind the scenes than be like, hey, this is what I've done. Do you know what I mean? I feel like it just, aside from all of that evil eye stuff, it's just the pressure, it alleviates everything. It builds your confidence as well to know, okay, this is the final product. That's kind of how I've always been. But someone did say that, why are you giving so much power to negative powers, evil eye, when God is there? Do you know what I mean? And ultimately, He is the highest power. So it kind of like highlights a lack of faith or a lack of trust that but I do think though it's okay to protect, because at the end of the day, I do think that in the Bible it does say though it's not everything you should say. Do you know what I mean? It's not everything you should say, because it's not only us that's listening. You can't be telling the devil what we're going to do. Do you know what I mean?
Of course. Obviously, it's
just a fine line, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that, but at the same time, obviously, if you just put I'm starting a brand on a piece of paper, you're not now going to go and give everyone, I'm starting a brand and that. Obviously now, when you've launched, you're in the stages of being a designer. Obviously, I'm pre-launch. I can feel like I can now shout that to the world,
Absolutely.
But at the time when I was like still in the works of it, no, it's not something I'm going to go and tell people.
That's the thing.
So like you say, yield the results first and then spread the word. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But please guys, like before you start your brand, make sure, like we say, take the time to really notice. Don't go and tell people prematurely, because like we say, evil eye to an extent does exist, but don't believe in that. That's my takeaway.
What is there? This evil eye. I just think it's just the devil. Do you get what I mean? Like I just think, look, do you know,
it's not real. Like,
evil eye is not real in my opinion. My opinion is the devil exists. Do you get what I mean? So you saying what you want to do to people, and you just never know 100% people's energy, intention. You're opening the floodgates of destruction. So if you know you want peace, you need to like just do the behind the scenes in peace, and then yield the results. Do you know what I mean?
Want peace.
No, but it's true though, because it's like, why are you gonna tell people when you're building a house? Like, generally,
it's true.
That's when the wind wants to blow this way. That's when someone will drive into this. That's when this. Do you get what I mean? But it's better to make sure you have the strong material, the brick, not the wood. Do you know what I mean? And then make sure you've got that solid foundation. Your idea solidified. You've done what you need to do in private, and then when you're ready, like you have your logo. In this instance, you're kind of working on your sampling stages, and you know what I mean. You have something to say, okay, cool. This is what I've been working on. It's absolutely fine. Do you know what I mean? That's absolutely fine. Do you know what I mean? Like you're set in what you want to do or what you're trying to do. Do you get it? Because I just think you have to move smart with certain things in life. There's some people that just be saying everything, that's fine, it works for them, but that's not the case for everyone else. Do you know what I mean? So just have to be careful, know your environment, and trust yourself. Trust what you want to. If you need to say, if you feel the need to share, or share it, sometimes you can meet the right person to help you. Do you know what I mean? So there's nothing wrong with being transparent, I would say, but I would say that just kind of protect certain things till you're actually ready to handle it.
Great advice.
I've been seeing online where there's a higher level of transparency with business owners, like Amy Small from Odd News, and she always talks about her journey. Even Connor Walker, with how she started her journey. So in terms of the funding, because I know on your TikTok you talked about the money you wasted with manufacturers, which is a painful amount. Now that you buy it. It was like £3,000, wasn't it?
Yes.
I was shooting from the top of my roof. I was thinking the bags I could have bought with that. I could have saved the money.
Let's not talk about that 3K.
But but I know that sometimes when you're doing a project, money is always a thing that we tend to think about. How am I going to do it? How am I going to finance it? If you feel like you're ready to start, but where's the money going to come from?
Right.
So how do you think you navigated the financial side of things?
It's not been easy.
I know it's not, honestly, and this is the honest truth, guys.
Business is expensive. When you have to take a leap of faith when you're doing something like this. I would say, not gonna lie, I worked my ass off. worked, saved in them early stages. I was like uni at the time, so a bit of student finance as well. I won't lie, guys. I'm really honest. I like to be transparent about these things. Honestly, it wasn't like the 3K came out on my account just at once. But when I looked back, when I look back at that year, it was. I put the receipts on TikTok, didn't I?
So that's why I literally started the video, because I was like, oh my gosh, we're all suffering in this thing, you know what I mean? And that's why, the more time I speak to you, just the more that no experience is
is the same.
Unfamiliar. Everyone's suffering with
I had
these
so many
people.
comments it's the same and this and that. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm so sorry if I'm triggering you today.
It's a trigger. I was triggered. Manufacturers will make you cry. You go and cry for real.
The financial burden, it did take a toll on me. But I just saw it as, would you rather spend £3,000 on a useless bag or a useless shoe,
or would you rather put £3,000 into a future investment that will generate millions?
Yeah.
That was the question I really posed and I asked myself, and I was just like, from there, as I look back at 2024, and I just think it was okay.
Yeah.
You know?
And I feel like, though, it's not a waste, in my opinion, because you've gained so much knowledge.
Yeah.
And with the knowledge you've gained from our losses and even mistakes as a designer or building a brand, you know, that is just invaluable, do you know what I mean? Like, no amount of money, you know, can pay for knowledge, do you know what I mean? So I think, in essence, yes, it's painful, but it's not a mistake.
Yeah.
I mean, not a mistake, what's I trying to say? It's not like a loss or a waste of money.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to say, because you've gained so much knowledge, you know how to stop that. And it's better to make these big mistakes now, not when, you know, you're more established and you don't even know what you're doing.
Exactly,
You know what I mean?
that's the worst that can happen to you, is actually when you're well established and you're losing. That £3,000 you're losing now is actually millions that you're losing now. Like, you rather make these mistakes earlier.
When you have more money, you can be wasting money on 100k, this, that, and the third. But when you don't need to actually make that money, do you get what I mean?
Yeah,
so it's better, and that's the thing. There's like beauty in growth, and in this journey, you do have to reprogram your brain quite a lot. Like, there will be sacrifices. I know with me, I was just working crazy hours. The hours did take a toll on me and did affect you mentally, because it's just like, I'm like, not even enjoying life. I'm just literally working.
It's
do you know what I
crazy.
mean?
It's
Just to make samples that are not even good. Like, there was like one sample, it took like 5 times for a top. And I was thinking, you guys said you're professional. Why did it take me 5 times to get a top right? And the top wasn't, they're acting as if it was some complex. It really wasn't that complex.
I've noticed that as well with manufacturing.
It really wasn't.
I sometimes do blame myself when it comes to them, because the information I gave them could have been more clear and concise. And I feel like sometimes a sketch isn't just always enough to really translate. You have got to make sure that whatever you're giving to these manufacturers, everything is clear. Like, if someone brought it to you, would you understand? I mean, I would, like I say.
I would,
but you know, it depends where you're manufacturing. And I mean, the manufacturers I have now, God bless her, God bless them, they are great. You know, I've worked so hard to get to that point where we have a great relationship with them, and I feel like it's taken a lot to get to that point. But I still make mistakes. I still, sometimes when I'm talking to them, I'll send like 1,000 references, and I'm like, just please send me one, or just be clear about the message you're sending to them.
I think that's really good advice, though, because we have to always take into consideration the language barrier. Although sometimes I think they use that as an excuse to, you know.
There's a translator for free on the internet. But,
on Alibaba, they literally translate the message for them. I'm sorry, like, they don't. I think some of them are very cheeky. They just take advantage of like small brands or like upcoming. Because if I told you I was designing for Louis Vuitton, you would not be acting like that. You wouldn't be doing that. Do you know what I mean? Or designing for a high-profile celeb. Why do I have to say I'm working for ASOS for you to act right? Do you know what I mean?
It's a joke.
It's crazy, and although
have you said that before?
What?
You're working for ASOS.
I think what I did say though, when they were getting the samples to I said, you know, you missed out on the opportunity of working for this celebrity. Like, this was gonna go to them, and then that's when it's like,
on the floor.
No, but I had to.
Sometimes you have to lie.
You have to lie, like, you know, sometimes because they won't take you seriously.
Have you ever noticed as well, if you say you're a luxury or you're a this, they'll
inflate
up the prices. Yeah, you have to be. Oh my gosh, the way you have to wear things in these teeth, these manufacturers is insane. Like,
they're crazy.
It's been a process.
And I feel like though they do like get things wrong intentionally at times, so they can make more money, because obviously sampling is a very expensive thing. And so they just see it as a money, because they're a business, so they just think, oh, all this money, do you know what I mean? So
and when they hear you're in the UK or even the US, the way they be flying, they see stars.
I think the US get worse though, because I was on TikTok and I saw this, like, she's very transparent about her journey in sampling. She got charged $500 for a sample. I said, for what she's even, it's in the shop 24, like, for what she's even making, I'm sorry, it's $500. The way she's getting scammed. God. And then people in the comments are like, that's not right. Like, they've been working in the industry for years. That's way too high.
Yeah, for a sample.
I thought it was a tracksuit. They're taking the mix, to be honest.
She got scammed.
She got scammed, and I feel like the good thing though about social media, they were kind of telling her, girl.
Yeah, one thing about social media, they're gonna get you together.
No, honestly, they're like, girl, you're being scammed.
They do not play.
No, honestly. need to be careful with these people.
Yeah, 1,000% guys. Watch yourselves, watch your back.
Yeah, watch your picture. So what has been the biggest struggle in running a small fashion brand so far? Because to be fair, like even before you launch, running it is still harder. I'm not gonna lie, like the things you have to do, the groundwork to make sure your brand is established. You know what I mean? It is a hard work, and you're balancing work. You know, balancing life. That is not honestly.
I think that's the one.
You know what, babe? In this economy, you can't just be like, hey, bye. Do you know what I mean?
No.
You can't do that. The job market is crazy.
You have got to work.
You have to work because in the past. There'll be a trend that I want to quit my job and then focus on business.
My business. Don't do that.
If you don't have savings or like a financial source like backing you,
don't quit your job.
Don't quit your job.
How are you going to pay for your bills? Please stay at work.
Even if like just so buy water, please like.
Do you know what? You can really run a business. You can go to work. You can come home and dedicate 4 hours of your time to your business and watch it flourish. Like you do not need to quit your job to run your business, guys. That's the worst advice I've ever heard in my life.
No, but that's people I've been seeing on TikTok, and this is why I feel like even me, because I've heard like, sometimes should I just quit my full time?
No.
So then I'm not gonna do it. But do you know the thought does so interesting because you know work can get frustrating and long at a time. It's like I should just
the thing is, when you
someone
launch
else rich.
business,
Do you get it?
No, but you can always quit your job when your business is in the 100,000s. Of course, quit your job.
Do you know, even I saw the gym shop, one of the owners, he only quit his job because he was working at Pizza Hut. He only quit his job when his business made 250k, I think.
That would be me.
No, that literally.
I'm not quitting my job until I know.
We all have to be wise and know like when you make money and generate sales, it's not for you initially. Initially, you're not gonna profit unless it like goes viral fast and then it blows up out of whatever, you know. But usually at the start, it's more common that you know you can't. And the money is for your business. You know, you can't just give it to yourself, even though that would be nice.
No,
but you have to be wise and really like repurpose your money, put it back into your business until you can start making profits. In the first few years, you're not really going to make profits because it's going back into your business. So, you know, you need to be wise. And just like for you to even take a breather, you know, you need money to return your bank account, child. So just don't quit your job.
Please. Don't quit your job.
Don't quit your job.
Don't quit your job, girl. Boys, whoever's watching this.
Yeah.
I'll vlog you.
Alright, so another thing that like piqued my interest on social media was how you did market your brand so far. So I saw that you're very transparent about your journey, and you know you do kind of like let people know kind of what's going on with like the behind the scenes. So like how would you say so far like you've been marketing yourself pre-launch and like connecting with your audience, because building brand awareness is very important, and because if you have no audience how are you gonna sell your piece of shit? You know, but I feel like you've been doing such a good job at that, and building up that momentum, and that will like have such a positive impact on your launch. So, you know, how would you say that you've been trying to market yourself? What are the things that you're doing?
Definitely, just authentically showing up as myself online. Pre-marketing for me was like a huge thing. It's like I'm the type of person like I would rather the brand get to know me and get to know who's behind the pieces. I know a lot of people don't do that, but I wanted to do that. It's different, you know, and especially women's wear. I don't really know a lot of female founders apart from like Amy and like the big names that really come online and show like this is me, you know, this is what I'm doing. So I thought that would be like an innovative strategy. As well as that, just honestly, I don't really know. I just think I'm a big personality at heart, and I mean people knew who I was behind the drawings as well. So why not do the same for the designs, you know?
Yeah, that's so true.
Yeah, it was all just simultaneous, and like it all just kind of fell into place. And I felt like in order to really like have the brand, you know, in order for the brand to have a good start, I feel like just being transparent and open about my experiences would really help other people. And there's not a day I don't receive a message anymore like, can you help me with my brand awareness, and can you help me with, and it's such a positive movement, and it's so good for your community to really not to gatekeep and to really share the things you've been through. And I've helped so many people in this a short amount of space, and to me that's so fulfilling. And I help people with their designs and their drawings, with their sketches and stuff like that. And honestly, just my brand in itself will have a positive outlook because of the things I've been doing pre-launch and and before even AJ was even a thing, you know. So
I love that. That's really, really nice. And I feel like as well, there's been a conversation online that I've been seeing. I think it's so funny at the time of the things that I see because it's like success is not just about you. Do you get what I mean? It's about others and others to come. And you know, when you have knowledge is not just for you. Knowledge is just not like to gatekeep. Do you get what I mean? I understand with certain things why people may be a bit more hesitant.
Yeah, of course.
But I do think that knowledge, you know, is something that can be shared and helping someone, you know, who's that's struggling or like in the same field doesn't know. It's such an important thing because you've done this for you, and it's always good to give back in any way that you can. I believe, whether it's just helping someone, because it doesn't cost anything to advise or help people, because there's always someone in need. You get what I mean? So I was seeing online, it's like it's okay to let yourself be used but not misused.
Yes, I love that. I saw that.
It's okay. Yeah, was that the topicals? Yeah, I saw that because it's okay to let yourself be used, but don't let people misuse you. Do you know what I mean? Or just kind of have, you know, that negative
stigma. I feel like as well, like honestly, like it's more than just the followers and the community and the views and everything. Like you could have 10 million views and then still put out the product and
not get niche.
So why not have like a brand audience, people that have been with you from A to Z, like let these people grow with you. Like, it's more than just about your view count, honestly. Like when I see my engagement, I'm like, wow, you know, like wow, there's actually people haven't even seen a product yet, and they're
invested.
It's so invested, yes. So when she says let people use you, don't let them misuse you, it all even boils down to even that. Like your followers and your people in your comments, they're gonna use those are the people that are going to promote your brand, like,
absolutely,
as well as yourself. They're your strongest, like, you know, they're your soldiers, like
building an army.
That's what you need. You need a loyal consumer base. And I feel like when I look at AJ now, I'm like, wow, I'm gonna have that. So
I love that. And I think that's why I was really happy for you to come on, because I think as well there's people that are struggling on how am I going to do this, how am I going to let people know, what am I going to do, like it's just more than just hoping for the viral video. Yes, we all hope for that, but there's many other you know, just hope, like we all hope that we just post one video on TikTok and design just blows up. Do you get what I mean? But there's other things you can do to get people invested, and obviously like as humans we are emotional, so like people connecting to your stories is always a good way. And like, so you know, if you ever start, that's such a good way, because I know for me, I like watching TikToks, but speaking on camera is something I've had to battle.
It's hard.
Do you know what I mean? It's very difficult for me to, you know, do. But then as well, so on TikTok, you know, TikTok is preaching these days that the life you want is on the other side of being cringe. Not that I think like speaking on camera is cringe, you know what I mean, but in a sense of like putting yourself out there.
You have to get uncomfortable.
Doing what you need to do, because like, you know, my personality, this is like I would have never, you know what I mean? You asked me this like 10 years ago or like 2 years ago, you wouldn't know, but I've had to get comfortable with the idea of being uncomfortable.
I love that.
You know, it just takes time. Take a lot of encouragement, and that's why the people around you is important,
and a lot of support as well. It's like, the average girl nowadays, like, you know, the average girl nowadays, she's on TikTok, she's posting, like that's your daily, our phones are our daily usage, like, so in order to really, if you want to market now, you have to be online.
You have to, honestly, you have to be online. So I've just had to, you know, get comfortable with that idea of like just, you know, being shy, being scared has never helped me in this life. So
ever. And that's it. Mouths don't get fed.
Literally, so you better open your mouth, use the voice that will give you, and do what you need to do. Speaking to herself also. So I know you haven't launched yet, but what would you give someone that's struggling to get like their first customers? Because again, I feel like you've done good with building brand awareness, but someone that might not know how to build brand awareness or might not have the same like online charisma that you have, they might think it's the worst thing that they could ever do. Like, what would you advise them with like what you know so far? Like if they want to like start and restart, because it's okay to stop and start and restart, rebrand, do what you need to do. So what would you kind of advise them?
pre-launch marketing for sure. Allow people to come on that journey with you. You can't expect someone. You might have a consumer in mind that you have, you know, literally pictured in your clothing, and you actually get the complete opposite. But I feel like it's so important to just market as much as you can. Like, even if, you know, you don't get even if on the first day that you launch you don't get a customer, there's day 2, there's day 3, there's a week after, there's so many. Like, don't let that first day discourage you. And I'm saying this for not only myself, but for people out there as well, because I've not launched yet, I haven't sold a piece, but I know, because I trust in God and I trust in my business, that I will get a customer. And even if people, they say there's, when you have, you know, like with views on TikTok, they say, oh, I only got 200 views, wow.
No, but it's true. And
wow.
No, that's not like, you know what changed my perspective, because you always think, oh, why is TikTok being like, I'm a 200 video? But do you know what really changed it for me? When someone said, if you were standing in a room with 200 people, would you have the same response?
Honestly,
I said, oh.
Would
it's true, because we're also thinking of like,
do you think it takes one person to change your life? One person.
That one person might be someone investor or something. I don't know.
Right.
Like,
no, honestly.
Like that view, you don't know the value in a view.
You don't know the value in one view, and that's why I say, like, I'm not shy about like when that launch day comes, and God willing, you know, if it's 50 customers, if it's 20, if it's 1, like, wow. You know,
and that's amazing. To get one sell is like, you pat yourself on the back, because it's hard.
It is hard, and that one person can now that one person can generate you 1,000 more customers just off a video of TikTok or a picture on Instagram, or they could be out on the street one day wearing your clothing and be like, oh, where did you get that from? Yes, us, AJ, it's your brand, you know. So you really have to just, I mean, I can't directly give you guys advice at the moment because I've not launched. But just my mentality alone will get me so many customers.
Absolutely. And I feel like, you know, thinking positively, speaking life into your brand, it's like, this is, for example, a flower. There's like been things where you speak to a flower and positively, you say nice thing, it will blossom so beautifully. Wow. But if you're not giving that flower attention, you know, or you just leave it, it will die and dwindle. Do you know what I mean? So it's always important to speak life into things. You know what I mean? And, you know, how we, and choose your words wisely, because, you know, our words are so like, you know, powerful. Do you know what I mean? There's life and, you know, death in the tongue. So you know your business will be successful. You say it, even if you haven't got a sell. My business is successful. Exactly. When people ask how's it going, it's going very good. Thank you. It's going great. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? No, but it's true. Like you say, it's going good. You have to
protect your business.
And then just like be speaking positively about it. You can also like highlight the challenges if you want to, if you please, but I think also just speaking, you know, positivity into the things that you're doing and creating, it does have an impact, and eventually it will manifest. Do you know what I mean? So even if you don't get a sale on the first day of launch, do you know how many people like they will say it's sold out and they didn't sell one thing? And it's a very very manipulative game that I'm really starting to learn. That people, I literally saw a TikTok where a guy said that he just sold like 2 for B. I said it's sold out, so that people can feel like they have one of those FOMO. But it's a smart thing.
That's consumer. Like,
it's manipulative, but it works. So you know what I mean. FOMO. Like he said, he sell half the stock and said it's sold out. So then he'll now relaunch. I mean, like say the stock that he originally bought was new stock, and then sell it. And I say, he said that. So he was just saying sometimes you just have to do it that way.
Game for sure, man.
No, it is, but it's getting the job done, I guess. So because there's people even that will say they will like sell one piece and they'll say it's sold out, but thinking that make it as if so many people. But then I do get it, because people have like a herd mentality. If they feel like everyone's in something, I must be in that thing.
It's not by force, like, honestly.
I'm not like that, but I'm just saying, I feel like the UK is very followerish. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna lie. So I do.
We'll go down that territory.
I do though, because I feel like let Jada Wader wear something. The whole of the UK will be in it, but like they can actually like your product.
They don't think it's good enough.
Because you know someone they like hasn't worn it yet. Do you know what I mean? Like, or like let's Kylie Jenner wear something. gonna drop tomorrow. Molly May, like, you know, I love Molly May, but Sheila Jones simple clothing, everyone's running. But let the person have a complex design that's fresh, that's different. Do you get what I mean? I like it. That's what I like it. Maybe like, but that's how people are. It's just an example, and it's not like bashing anyone. It's just an example of how people act. Do you know what I mean?
People are very follow fashion, but
exactly. Long story short,
in this life, like,
what can we do?
People, as long as it's my brand, they're following
No,
fashion.
honestly, as long as it's like, you know, Michaela and Jayanne, you know, just be
Do
following.
what you like.
You know, you have that home mentality there, please.
I'm not complaining if it's for me.
No, honestly, no, I'm not. It's not more of like a.
No, I'm just joking. You know.
No, I'm just saying that. Just like with reviewers as well. It's just more like, you know, you just have to kind of position yourself into people thinking you're popping. So,
right.
if you have to, I guess, be manipulated, I don't know, like the manipulation of the lie, whatever, I guess, do you, because it works for, you know, people. Like, what is that saying? Not all that glitters is gold, because that's what I'm realising, because you'll be thinking, this is why it's not good to compare yourself. Oh, this is happening to this person, not knowing that they're just lying. They're literally just lying. Like,
it's a joke.
We're just comparing, like, we'd be like, oh, how come they're like, you know, doing this, but you don't know what they've
you don't know the
done.
hurdles that they've gone through, or like the struggles that they've been through. So that's why I always say, just focus on yourself, focus on your own journey.
It's that.
Let your journey speak for itself. Don't watch
So
what anyone else is doing.
like, literally, just keep focused, do you, and it will be fine. Well, hopefully, it will be fine.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. So how would you describe your brand design style in 3 words?
I actually did this the other day. My brand design style. It would change collection from collection, but this one, I would say glam. I would say artistic.
Yeah.
I'd say intricate.
Oh, I love that. I love those shades of words.
Yes.
So I know you're gonna follow like the high fashion route. You're not kind of doing like Zara or something like that. You want to be more like high fashion.
Yes.
Like more exclusive wear. Yeah. So that makes sense. I love that.
Contemporary is definitely my thing. I'd like to say I'm more of like a classic designer, so like classic silhouettes, but very, very artistic.
Yeah.
Very intricate, very detailed.
So, how do you balance creativity with business strategy?
Business strategy was something that had to really grow on me.
Yeah.
I won't lie. The logistics of business it's not chalk and cheese.
I'm sorry, even me, it's very grey. Like, it's not black and white. I don't even understand half the. You see the things, the technicalities.
It's a lot.
The creative thing, I don't even have to try. Like, literally, I can be half asleep and then something comes to my head and be like, "Woo, we're gonna make that." Do you know what I mean? Or even one design marinades, but this business it's a work in progress.
This logistics, man. Like, that's for the please.
Child. There's brains for that, and it's not mine. But I guess we'll figure it out.
You just fake it till you make it. Really, that's. Learn, sit down, watch videos.
You have to fake it till you make
tutorials,
it. This business thing.
With that you learn by force.
Yeah, you have to learn.
You have to learn. You can't skip that step.
Honestly, and you can't be soft in business, and that's something that I'm trying to be, because naturally I'm quite a friendly person, especially like manufacturers. If you don't put your foot down, you will be walked over.
Yes.
Like, as if even doormat has more leverage than you will. Do you get what I mean? In business,
prepare for the worst. You not even prepare for the worst, because I don't want to be
negative, but no, I get what you mean though, but you always have to be firm.
Yeah,
you don't have to be rude and disrespectful, but you need to know that I'm not playing around, because they will slap you left, right. They'll just be emptying your bank account.
It's crazy.
Do you know what I mean?
These manufacturers are literally the definition of what I like to call a jump scare.
No, literally, we're all scared, child. I'm scared of them. Like, literally, you have to be really firm. And I feel like before I used to be very diplomatic. No, that didn't work. When I started putting my foot down and using, you see the simple sharp no, by telling them about themselves, then I started to get better results.
Yeah.
It's a shame, but you can't be too nice, and it's true. You know, obviously I'm not advising people to be, rude, because that's not what I'm saying, but just be firm and do what you need to do. So what do you want people to feel when they wear your designs?
Oh. when the girlies are in AJ, I want them to feel like they're the only ones in the room.
No, I get that.
Yeah,
confidence.
Confident. I want them to feel glamorous. I want them to feel like what they're wearing is an investment.
Yeah.
It's a wardrobe staple. These are the things that I want people to feel when they're in my clothes. I want them to feel like they've been taken on a journey to be their best selves.
Yeah.
It's definitely, I want to say, and when it obviously launches, I do want people to embody these words that I'm saying. Yeah. It's not for no reason. I know what I'm saying, and when I envision what I see in my head, these are all the things that come to mind.
I really love that. No, it's really nice, because obviously when you make it, you want like women or whoever you're designed for to feel confident.
Yes.
And to feel like get the compliments, you know what I mean? Because I would say though, like when people tell me, like when they have worn my stuff, that so many people complimented me, that means so much to me, because it does, like the stress behind one design, do you know what I mean? And it all makes it worth it. And saying, oh my god, the quality of this, like I felt this way, like I really love this, it fits this way, it all makes it worth it. Like all the stress like diminishes within, you know, just for someone saying that.
Proof of life, isn't it?
No, literally. And it is a dream come true, like someone wearing one design. Like technically you have like accomplished your dream, because one person at least has, even though like, you know, there's bigger goals and we always like strive for more, essentially if you think about it, you're still living the dream you've always wanted to. When someone does buy and say these things, you get what I mean? It's just like about growth and expansion. Everyone wants to elevate, do you know what I mean? But
I love that.
And I do realise as well, like just enjoying certain stuff of it as well, because there's one day, you know, your life will change, and you know, you're thinking, well, how did I give myself a heart attack? Do you know, for this and this, do you get it? Like, it's always good to kind of, as well, like to take away like positives, I would say, from each stage of your journey, because you can't like cloud it with negativity, because it's not all that bad. It's hard, don't get me wrong, but there is beauty in some parts of it, and I feel like it is like a self-development journey. Like doing your own business, like you really have to be like, okay, you learn more about yourself, and you kind of have to readjust your like brain into how it copes with things as well.
I definitely learned to be resilience.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm very resilient, and apparently I'm very calm. I'm a very calm individual. This is what I've taken away from it.
Yeah, I get that. And I feel like those are good traits to have, like you can be like level-headed and stuff like that. So that's great. So I'll just wrap it up and ask, how do you see your brand evolving in the next 5 years? And if you could dress any celebrity, who would it be and why?
Okay. In the next 5 years, we're definitely going to be a household name. That's what I like to say. Definitely a very successful women's wear brand. You know, I'm hoping to get in stores. Jesus name. Just honestly thriving as a brand. Being worn all around the world, red carpets, events, on holidays, you name it. Like, I've got so much in store for this. I don't want to give too much away, but I'll just give you the...
You have to stay tuned.
You just stay tuned, you'll see. The next 5 years will be 2030, so...
Yeah, a lot can happen in a month.
Yes.
Let alone 5 years, so...
Yes, we'll go from digital to hopefully physical. As well, who would I see in my brand? Who would I love to see?
Like a celebrity, like you would literally be screaming.
Oh my gosh, there's too much choice.
Like, what's that? Okay, just summarize the three people out of your list that you'll think, oh my god, like literally.
UK, Melissa's wardrobe for sure. If she wore AJ tomorrow, I'd faint. Please, Melissa, please. US. Oh, I don't know. Wow. Yeah. Ryan Destiny.
Oh yeah.
She would be. Oh wow.
Yeah, I can see. Yeah.
Am I thinking small? Should I think big?
I think she's. I like her though.
Yeah. No, she's a household name. Like Rihanna maybe. Love Rihanna.
Yeah, I would love a bit of Rihanna.
I don't know that. Honestly, all the celebs.
No, honestly, all the celebs. Don't believe it.
Tracy,
all of
please.
them. All of them. Just any of them. Yeah, I feel like with me, but I think like my favourite, let's say if I like a rapper or like Megan Thee Stallion, I think that I'll just go and collapse, to be honest. I'm like, even
she'll be your pieces.
No, amen. Like, I just love Megan, so imagine
Yeah, even a model was even thinking that would I love to be in my Eva.
Yeah, Eva
would be a
Longoria.
good one,
Yeah. I feel like all of their names, like even Tracy Ellis, but I feel like maybe when my designs mature a bit, because it's still around my age group as well, she'll probably be. But you can always like change, mix and match, change this, that, and the third. To be fair,
there's no age.
Can I just say, literally, she's an example of someone's age, but she still looks young.
Yeah.
She doesn't like. This is what I want. Like, she's like a good like reference, like with young girls as well. Like, she just is amazing, but she looks young. Like, she's always covered up. Do you get what I mean? But she looks fresh. I never looked at her and think, damn. I look at her and think, oh my god, I'm so excited to. Age and just how you're dressing one day. Do you get what I mean? So I think she should take from these ladies. I would love Rihanna. I love Rihanna.
Yeah,
I feel like she's so.
I don't know. All the names are coming to me now.
Yeah, like Lori Harvey, Jordan Woods.
I want them all.
Yeah.
I want them all.
Yeah, I want them all. I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to be limited in who I want, but there's certain people that are like naturally my faves. That I'll be like.
Yeah, no. I would drop if anyone wore it, to be honest.
Yeah, to be fair, I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't matter who you are, as long as you're in there, like a high profile, whatever you're gonna call celeb, I'll be like, oh my god, they're wearing my stuff. Like, it doesn't really matter what field, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it was a bit of Kylie Jenner, that one, I'll be like, oh, yes.
And so be it.
Yes. Just know you never have to go work again.
I'm telling you, you're going for that day.
Honestly.
Sleep, I'm gonna sleep on the first day. The first day
coming in, that would be like,
my phone on D&D.
the resignation letter, just be like, yeah, my life, I can't.
No, honestly.
We've gone clear.
Made it, Mom, I've made it.
Yeah. But I honestly love that. I love like talking to you about, your journey so far. No, same, honestly. And just seeing how you've kind of managed and the things that you've done. And hopefully this will inspire those that are, in the process of launching, and just know that you're not alone. We're all going through it, and you take something from it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
So thank you so much for coming on the Designer Dialogue. And hopefully, when we like recoup, we can have another conversation of a different perspective. Off the stage as we launch, and and I'll be talking to you when we sold out.
Yes.
This, that, and the third.
Vice versa.
Amen. But yeah, thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode. Bye.
Oh, that was so cute. I loved it.
So did I. Thank you.